Northwest. Again, all they're telling us is that multiple people have been hurt in an active shooter investigation, but they're stressing that they do not have this shooter in custody, so we don't know if that person's on the move right now, if there is maybe more shooting activity happening right now, but we have been told this is an area that they're concentrating on between 12th and 13th Street, and that they're asking people to stay in place. Again, this is the area where Google opened an office building, I think July of 2022. The Epicurean Hotel is there, a big hotel, and there are a lot of condos in this area as well, a lot of people who live right in this area. So we are asking anyone who might be listening right now, seeing what's on the ground from a safe perspective, if you have information or pictures and video you can share, be sure to send them in to the 11 Alive newsroom. We know a lot of people probably watching this unfold as it's happening. A lot of police, fire, and paramedic activity happening in that area. If you're just joining us, this is an active shooter situation that is unfolding as we speak at West Peachtree Street, Northwest between 12th and 13th Streets in Midtown. Atlanta police confirming a number of people are hurt and they do not have a shooter in custody. Savannah Levins is joining me here on the set to talk more about this as we're working the phones and working the maps right now to get a better perspective of where police might be extending this search for the shooter right now. Again, a really busy part of the city at a very busy time of day. We're just coming off the lunch hour.
Yeah, we have crews on the way right now trying to report from the ground safely. Of course, I actually live on West Peachtree in Midtown, and I just got a text from my building asking us to shelter in place, or anyone who is there right now. And I was checking Twitter and seeing what people were saying. There were a lot of people in Midtown. As you mentioned, so many offices, so many, businesses. And one woman said she was leaving an appointment and security ran up and told her to take shelter inside away from a window because there was an active shooter situation. So you can imagine how scary that is, not only for the people in the building where this is happening, but in nearby buildings where they're being corralled inside and told to take shelter, to shelter in place, which is exactly what Atlanta police tweeted out there as a warning as they try to get this under control.
I was thinking about the restaurant Reverence, I think, is right there. A lot of restaurants in that area as well. And as we mentioned, we're coming off the lunch hour, so a very busy time as the restaurants are probably asking people to stay inside as well. You make a good point about staying away from windows. We can't stress enough, this is an active situation. They do not have the shooter in custody. This is video just into the 11 Alive newsroom a moment ago. You see an armored vehicle coming in now. This is some high-powered protection coming in from Atlanta police for this active situation. This, I think, visually really speaks to how serious this situation is and how much manpower is coming in to try to protect this area and find the person who has this weapon.
And you know what? This is one of the most traffic congested areas in Midtown, to be honest. So also having to deal with traffic to get these vehicles, police, these armored vehicles through that in the middle of what's probably one of the busiest times of day in that area, I'm sure was difficult to navigate, but it looks like they're rushing to the scene there at this active shooter situation.
And of course, you can imagine the calls coming into Atlanta PD right now as people are getting those messages to shelter in place. They're hearing it from their places of business, the restaurants they're at, their condo complexes, and perhaps seeing things unfold in front of their eyes here in Midtown. So police working tips and asking for information if anyone sees this shooter. Obviously, be careful, stay where you are. Don't go to that area if you are planning to have an appointment or have business in that area. We want to show you this again. I was just counting the number of armored vehicles. I had seen 3 come through along with other police vehicles, officers on motorcycles, someone directing traffic, obviously clearing the streets, making this priority 1. Just to reset, if you're just joining us, this is the area of Midtown on West Peachtree Street between 12th and 13th Streets. An active shooter situation. The first text from Atlanta police with this warning came out at 12:37, and things have been unfolding very quickly since.